6 lucky numbers to win big and get rich on July 6th, 2025 Buddhist teachings. Have you ever noticed certain numbers appearing in your life again and again on clocks, receipts, or signs, almost as if they're trying to speak to you? In Buddhist teachings, that's not a coincidence. Numbers are messengers. They carry energy, timing, and intention. And as July 6th, 2025 approaches, a powerful window opens where 6 special numbers begin to resonate with energy that invites joy, clarity, and abundance into your life. In this video from The Journey of Wisdom, we'll explore what each of these numbers really means, not just in terms of luck, but in terms of inner alignment, spiritual truth, and personal transformation. And if you stay with me until the end, I'll share something even deeper, a hidden truth about wealth that most people overlook. It's not a tactic or a secret formula, but a shift in awareness that can change the way prosperity flows into your life quietly, powerfully, and sustainably. So take a breath, be present. And if this message speaks to you, tap like, subscribe, and comment below. I welcome abundance with wisdom and gratitude. 1. Number 3. Let's take a deeper look at a number that holds more than just lucky charms to choose. It embodies the spirit of joy, freedom, and creative flow. That number is 3. In Buddhist philosophy, numbers often carry symbolic meanings, and the number 3 is a powerful representation of harmony, much like the 3 jewels, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. When you think of number 3 in July 2025, especially under the expansive influence of Jupiter, the planet, known for its connection to abundance and wisdom, it becomes more than a number. It becomes an invitation to rediscover your playful, authentic self. Think about the simple joy of humming a tune in the shower, sketching without any goal, or sharing a warm, unfiltered laugh with a dear friend. These aren't distractions. They are doorways back to the present moment, where real energy flows. The number 3 resonates with this same essence. It whispers, "Let go of the pressure and return to joy." The Buddha once said, "Happiness does not depend on what you have or who you are. It solely relies on what you think." That's the wisdom behind this number. It's not about chasing wealth through effort alone, but attracting it through your natural, joyful expression. Whether you're writing, crafting, talking, or just being, 3 encourages you to do it with lightness and truth. Yet, in our fast-paced world where stress and obligation dominate, the vibration of 3 can be dulled. That's why it's essential, especially now, to consciously make room in your life for spontaneity and wonder. Reclaim even just a few minutes a day to do something that lights you up from the inside, not for success, but for the sheer joy of it. Because when you do, your energy shifts, your creativity becomes magnetic. And without even realizing it, the right people, opportunities, and blessings start showing up. As the Zen saying goes, let go or be dragged. The more you loosen your grip on fear, the more open your life becomes to grace. And that, dear friend, is how number 3 brings its blessings, not through striving, but through the frequency of your joy. 2. Number 5. Let's talk about a number that doesn't just symbolize luck. It symbolizes momentum, courage, and the deep inner shift that comes when you're finally ready to move forward. That number is 5. Now, let me ask you, have you ever felt stuck in a loop where every day feels like a repeat of the last? You might have big dreams, clear plans, and even glimpses of a better version of yourself. But when it's time to take action, something invisible pulls you back. It's not laziness or fear, it's simply the space where courage hasn't yet taken its first breath. And that's exactly where number 5 becomes your spiritual ally. As we move closer to July 6th, 2025, this number shows up as a powerful force, encouraging you to stop waiting for the perfect moment and instead create your moment. You see, in Buddhist teachings, the world is constantly flowing, everything is impermanent, and suffering often comes from resisting that natural movement. So what happens when you start saying yes to change? I remember a story of a woman in her early 50s who spent years working in a job that drained her spirit. She kept waiting for a better time to follow her passion for writing. But last year, after seeing the number 5 show up in random places and receipts on her morning walk, even in dreams, she finally listened. She started writing in secret, 5 minutes a day. Today, she's published her first book, and it all began with that first small step. That's the quiet power of 5. It doesn't demand loud decisions. It just nudges you gently to move. In astrology, 5 is ruled by Mercury, the planet of thought and communication, which means this number sharpens your awareness and invites you to pay attention to your inner voice. Have you been seeing this number more often lately? On license plates, clocks, or digital screens? That repetition is not a coincidence, it's a loving reminder that something in you is ready to evolve. So ask yourself, what am I clinging to that's quietly holding me back? Maybe it's the fear of starting over, or the comfort of routines that no longer nourish your spirit. Buddhism teaches that liberation begins the moment we stop clinging and start trusting in change. 5 doesn't represent chaos, it represents transformation. This July, if you're feeling called to shift emotionally, spiritually, or even professionally, don't ignore that inner restlessness. Start small if you must, but start. Let your curiosity speak louder than your fear. Let your energy speak louder than your hesitation. And if the number 5 keeps showing up in your world, it's not a warning, it's an invitation. An invitation to step into the unknown, knowing that growth never comes from standing still. In the end, the message is clear. Movement creates miracles. So don't wait. Say yes to the momentum, and let number 5 guide you into a future that's been patiently waiting for you to begin. 3. Number 8. Let's take a moment together, just you and me, to explore something that may seem ordinary at first glance, but holds a deeper meaning when we pause to truly see it. The number 8. You might see it every day on clocks, license plates, receipts, and never give it a second thought. But have you ever really looked at its shape? It's a continuous loop, flowing back into itself with no beginning and no end. If you tilt it sideways, it becomes the symbol for infinity. That's not just an artistic coincidence. It's a visual reflection of something eternal. In Buddhist philosophy, 8 is profoundly symbolic. It represents the Noble Eightfold Path, the heart of the Buddha's teachings, guiding us toward wisdom, ethical living, and mental clarity. The Buddha once said, "Just as a candle cannot burn without fire, men cannot live without a spiritual life." In this way, number 8 is more than luck, it's about living with intention and balance. As we move closer to July 6th, 2025, this energy becomes even more relevant. You may be wondering, can a number really change your life? The answer is not in superstition, but in awareness. 8 encourages us to move forward with discipline, strategy, and trust, not in blind luck, but in the law of cause and effect, or karma. The world may tell you to chase quick wins or overnight success, but number 8 teaches you to build, not just wish. Think about this. What are you working toward that deserves lasting roots, not just passing glory? Now is the time to act with calm focus. Make decisions from a place of inner clarity, not external pressure. This number reminds us that true prosperity starts within, not from lottery tickets or lucky breaks, but from the power of a steady mind and a heart at peace. So, if the number 8 has been showing up in your life lately, on your screen, on receipts, or in random moments, don't ignore it. Maybe it's a quiet whisper from the universe, reminding you that you are entering a cycle of meaningful growth. Ask yourself, what in your life needs a stronger foundation right now? What small, grounded step can you take today that your future self will thank you for? And if this reflection speaks to you, take a moment to offer gratitude, whether that's by sharing this insight, tapping the thanks button, or simply pausing in silence. Because sometimes, the most powerful shift begins with a single, mindful breath. If you believe that fortune favors the mindful, you're already one step ahead. These lucky numbers for the 6th of July aren't just random, they're chosen with purpose and peace. Type, "I welcome abundance," in the comments to align your energy with prosperity. Don't go anywhere, there's still a treasure trove of insights we want to share with you in this video. Stay until the end to uncover the secrets that will help you achieve financial success. 4. Number 11. It doesn't arrive with fanfare, nor does it clamor for your attention. It simply appears, softly, like a breeze brushing past your awareness. The number 11, in Buddhist and spiritual understanding, isn't just a coincidence of two identical digits. It carries the quiet power of mirrored energy, a reflection of balance between your inner world and the unfolding universe. In Buddhism, balance is everything. As the Buddha once said, "Peace comes from within, do not seek it without." This number acts as a gentle nudge, urging you to realign your thoughts, emotions, and intuition with the deeper flow of life. In today's fast-paced world, where screens flash endlessly and responsibilities pile up like waves, we easily lose touch with the present moment. But 11 appears not to distract, but to ground you. It's the soft bell in the monastery of your life, calling you back to awareness. When you glance at your phone and see 11, or find it printed on a receipt, page number, or street sign while you're lost in thought, pause. That's not random, it's a whisper from the universe saying, "Be still and notice." Especially in July 2025, as your awareness sharpens, this number becomes more than just a sign. It becomes a message that you are ready to receive. Buddhist wisdom teaches us that the sacred lives in the ordinary, that enlightenment isn't a distant mountaintop, but found in the breath, in the pause, in the moment we listen deeply. So if you've been doubting your direction, second-guessing a relationship, or hesitating on a bold idea, let 11 serve as confirmation. Your intuition is speaking, and you're not being irrational, you're finally in tune. Trust that quiet feeling, that inner pull. It may not make logical sense, but logic isn't the only language of truth. That conversation you overhear, that lyric that strikes your heart, or that sentence in a book that echoes your own thoughts, these are the teachings of the present. In Buddhist thought, the path unfolds naturally when we're receptive rather than reactive. As the Dhammapada says, "What you think, you become. What you feel, you attract. What you imagine, you create." So when 11 shows up, see it not as a push to act fast, but as a sacred pause to breathe, to observe, to trust that you're exactly where you need to be. In the noise of life, 11 is the silence that holds wisdom. A point 5. 5. Number 17. Let me tell you something that may have quietly been following you for a while, the number 17. Maybe it's been popping up on receipts, street signs, the clock, or random license plates. You might have shrugged it off, thinking it's just coincidence. But here's the truth. In the rhythm of the universe, there are very few coincidences. When a number keeps appearing in your life, especially during moments of doubt, reflection, or even deep intention, it's not just a number anymore. It becomes a message. And 17 is one of those sacred signals. It blends the energy of one symbolizing new beginnings, courage, and personal leadership with the wisdom of 7, a number of intuition, spiritual insight, and inner knowing. When these two energies come together, they create a powerful path, action guided by wisdom. Have you ever felt that pull between wanting to make a bold move, but also needing to feel deeply aligned before doing so? That's the energy of 17 working within you. And July 2025, that's a rare window when the energy of 17 intensifies like a door slightly more open than usual, waiting for you to walk through. It's not shouting at you or offering instant wealth. Instead, it whispers, "You're ready, trust yourself." Let me share a story. A friend of mine, after years of hesitating, finally left her safe corporate job to follow her passion for healing through sound. What tipped the scale? She began seeing 17 everywhere: clocks, invoices, even the seat number on her train the day she gave her resignation. At first, she laughed it off, but eventually, she paused and asked herself, "What is shifting in me?" That question led to clarity, and clarity led to courage. Now, she says that seeing 17 feels like a gentle nudge from the universe saying, "Keep going." And maybe you're at a similar place. So ask yourself, where in your life are you being nudged to trust? Where are you being asked to stop overthinking and simply take the next step, even if it's small? Numbers like 17 don't promise you'll win the lottery, but they do remind you that your timing is divine and your path is sacred. If this number is showing up again and again, don't dismiss it. It's a quiet, loving reminder that you're not lost, you're being guided. Let go of the fear. Tune into your own rhythm. Because the greatest fortune isn't always in money, it's in being aligned with your purpose, at the right time, in the right way. So remember this. 17 doesn't just guide you, it awakens you. Let it lead you into the next version of yourself, with courage, clarity, and calm confidence. 6. Number 66. Now, let's go deeper. There is a number that is even more powerful in both the spiritual and material realms, sir. Sacred vibration that harmonizes inner growth with outer abundance. That number is 66. And if you are hearing this right now, it is no coincidence. You have been led here by something within you, perhaps the still small voice within, that still dares to believe in transformation. Have you ever wondered why some numbers seem to arrive at just the right moment, as if answering a question you haven't even spoken aloud? 66 is not just a number, it's a frequency, a sacred code that speaks directly to your spirit. In Buddhism, the number 6 holds deep meaning. It represents the 6 paramitas: generosity, morality, patience, joyful effort, concentration, and wisdom, the virtues that guide us toward enlightenment. When this number is doubled, as in 66, it becomes even more significant. It's a reminder to bring balance between your inner peace and your outer goals. Imagine this: early morning, the world still, your mind calm. That's the energy of 66, calm, certain, yet full of power. So how can you align with this energy? Try this practice. Take a clean sheet of white paper and gently write the number 66 in bold strokes. Fold it slowly, mindfully, as if sealing a prayer. Place it under your pillow for 7 nights during July 2025. Pay attention to your dreams. They may become more vivid, more revealing. Your subconscious is tuning into something higher. On one of those nights, light a candle and sit in silence. With your journal open, write down 6 things you're grateful for, not just material possessions, but moments, people, or peaceful insights. Then on another page, write 6 clear intentions or goals you wish to manifest before the year ends. Be sincere. Don't hold back. Because this isn't about wishing, it's about preparing your spirit to receive. Real prosperity comes not when we chase after it, but when we become the kind of person that abundance naturally seeks. What would it feel like to live that way? To attract wealth not out of desperation, but from a place of alignment and peace. The number 66 is your mirror. It reflects back the truth that when your intentions are clear, your heart is open, and your actions are steady, the world begins to shift in your favor. You're not falling behind, you're exactly where you need to be. And this number, this moment, is just the beginning of a new chapter. So tell me, what are you truly ready to welcome into your life? If you've made it this far, you're already opening the door to powerful possibilities on July 6th, 2025. These 6 lucky numbers, rooted in timeless Buddhist wisdom, may just be the shift you've been waiting for. Comment below with "Abundant Path" to affirm your belief in luck, intention, and mindful prosperity. Stay with us till the end. More insights await to help you walk the path toward wealth with peace and clarity. Let's keep moving forward, together. Gratitude is the source of wealth. The secret to becoming rich that few people understand. Gratitude is the source of wealth. At first, it might sound like just another feel-good quote. But behind these words lies a powerful truth that many overlook. Wealth doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your mindset. In a world obsessed with hustle, strategy, and chasing more, it's easy to believe that success comes only from grinding harder. But some of the most successful people know something different, that gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for attracting abundance. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already working. It helps you see opportunities, build better relationships, and make smarter decisions. It creates a mindset of abundance, and that mindset changes everything: how you act, how you feel, and ultimately, what you attract. So why is gratitude the secret to becoming rich that so few people understand? Let's explore. Number 1. Gratitude shifts focus from lack to abundance. So often in modern life, we find ourselves caught in the endless loop of wanting. We want more money, more recognition, more comfort, more things. But in that constant craving, we overlook what we already have. The habit of focusing on what's missing creates a mindset of lack, a subtle but persistent feeling of insufficiency. This is where gratitude becomes transformative. It shifts our focus from scarcity to sufficiency, from what we lack to what we already possess. Gratitude doesn't mean denying challenges or pretending everything is perfect. Rather, it means acknowledging and appreciating the good that is present, however small. As the Buddha said, "Let us rise up and be thankful. For if we didn't learn a lot today, at least we learned a little. And if we didn't learn a little, at least we didn't get sick. And if we got sick, at least we didn't die. So, let us all be thankful." This ancient wisdom teaches us that even on difficult days, there is still something to honor, something to hold with appreciation. When we practice this consistently, our mindset changes, and here's the secret. Our actions begin to reflect that inner richness. A person who feels abundant is more likely to act with generosity, to take bold but wise steps, to give instead of hoard, and to engage with life more fully. These behaviors naturally lead to more opportunities, deeper relationships, and yes, even financial prosperity. The energy of gratitude attracts more to be grateful for, not in a mystical way, but because it aligns our thoughts and behaviors with possibility rather than limitation. This is not just spiritual poetry, it's echoed in psychology and neuroscience as well. Research shows that people who practice gratitude regularly report better mental health, more resilience, and even higher incomes. It turns out that seeing life through a grateful lens improves decision-making, helps us notice opportunities we might have missed, and strengthens our relationships, all critical components of building lasting wealth, both emotional and material. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." This wisdom crosses cultures and centuries because it's grounded in something real. What we focus on grows. If we're constantly dwelling on what we don't have, we're reinforcing a belief that we're not enough. And we tend to act from fear or desperation. But when we notice what is working, when we genuinely appreciate the roof over our heads, the meal we had, the people we love, or even the lessons we've learned through hardship, that energy lifts us. It becomes easier to say yes to life, to pursue our goals from a place of hope rather than anxiety. In today's world, where social media often feeds our feelings of inadequacy by constantly comparing our lives to others, the practice of gratitude is more vital than ever. It's not passive, it's a powerful, active choice that grounds us in the present and reminds us of what's real. Try this simple habit. Each evening, write down 3 things you're grateful for, not grand things, just the everyday blessings. You'll soon notice a shift in how you perceive your life. And as your perception changes, so does your energy, and others respond to that. You'll begin to attract opportunities, trust, and even material success, because your presence communicates wholeness, not lack. As the Dhammapada teaches, health is the greatest gift, contentment, the greatest wealth, faithfulness, the best relationship. Real wealth starts inside with contentment, gratitude, and trust in life's unfolding. When we live from that space, we become rich in every sense, in heart, in relationships, and over time, often even in material well-being. Gratitude, then, is not only a spiritual practice but a life strategy, a quiet, steady way to abundance that few understand but all can cultivate. Number 2. A grateful mindset opens the door to opportunities. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how some people just seem to attract good things effortlessly? Opportunities seem to find them, people enjoy being around them, and doors open where there once were walls. What's their secret? It's not always talent, luck, or money. Often, it comes down to mindset. And one of the most powerful mindsets you can develop is gratitude. When you're truly grateful, something inside you shifts. You become more positive, more open, and more willing to connect with others. You begin to see life not through the lens of frustration or scarcity, but through a sense of possibility. That energy is felt by everyone around you. It's like you're carrying a light that others naturally want to walk beside. Gratitude makes you more approachable, more patient, and more enjoyable to be around, whether you're at work, in business, or just talking to your neighbor. That kind of presence builds trust and connection, and in turn, invites opportunities that may not appear for someone walking around bitter or closed off. As the Buddha once taught, a disciplined mind brings happiness, and gratitude is one of the most powerful disciplines you can practice daily. Let me share a story with you. It's about a man named Sam, a mid-level manager in a struggling company. While most of his co-workers spent their days complaining about the workload or blaming the economy, Sam did something different. Each day, he quietly gave thanks for his job, his co-workers, even for the difficult clients, because he saw them as teachers. One day, during a company restructuring, Sam was unexpectedly promoted. Why? His attitude had made such an impact that upper management saw him as someone who could lead during change. While others were grumbling in the dark, Sam had become a light, and that light made people want to follow him. So, let me ask you, how do you show up each day? Are you giving off the energy that draws others in, or one that pushes opportunities away? When your heart is full of gratitude, you naturally become more attentive and present. You start to notice things. Others miss a kind word from a stranger, a small improvement in your project, or a chance to collaborate with someone new. These aren't just feel-good moments. They are actual stepping stones to growth and success. And the beauty is, gratitude doesn't require any special tools or wealth, just a shift in awareness. As motivational speaker Zig Ziglar once said, gratitude is the healthiest of all human emotions. The more you express gratitude for what you have, the more likely you will have even more to express gratitude for. That's not just philosophy, that's how energy works in real life. The more open and appreciative you are, the more life responds in kind. So, as you go about your day, I encourage you to pause and ask yourself, what am I thankful for right now? Who around me can I appreciate? And how can I bring that energy into my conversations, my work, and my decisions? This is how a grateful mindset quietly opens doors, not by force, but by flow. Remember, people are drawn to those who carry peace, presence, and positivity. So the next time you're faced with a challenge, instead of closing off, ask yourself, what in this can I be grateful for? That question alone could change the direction of your life. The lesson here is simple yet powerful. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it's a way of seeing, a way of living, and ultimately, a way of unlocking the abundance that is already around you, waiting to be noticed. Number 3. Gratitude activates the law of reciprocity. Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked in conversations about success and wealth: The power of gratitude to activate what's known as the law of reciprocity. You've likely experienced this yourself. When someone genuinely thanks you, appreciates your effort, or shows that they value your presence, don't you naturally feel more inclined to help them again? That's reciprocity in action. It's a basic human response, and it works both ways. When you make gratitude a regular part of how you communicate in business, with friends, with your team, or even with strangers, you naturally begin to build trust, warmth, and goodwill. And here's the key. Those emotions are not just feel-good experiences. They're valuable assets that open real doors. When people feel appreciated, they remember you. They recommend you, support you, and often go out of their way to help you succeed, not because they're obligated, but because they want to. As the Buddha said, thousands of candles can be lit from a single candle, and the life of the candle will not be shortened. Happiness never decreases by being shared. Gratitude is that candle. It spreads light in every direction, and in doing so, it draws people in. So let me ask you, are you showing appreciation to the people around you, or are you silently expecting success to come without nurturing the relationships that could bring it? Think about it. In business, the most successful deals are rarely made on numbers alone. They happen when people trust each other, when there's mutual respect and understanding. Gratitude creates the emotional glue that holds those relationships together. Whether it's a client who sends you repeat business, a colleague who recommends you for a project, or a friend who connects you to a new opportunity, these acts of generosity are often sparked by the feeling that you genuinely care and recognize their efforts. But this goes even deeper than networking or social niceties. Gratitude shifts your energy. It moves you from a state of wanting to a state of giving. And ironically, when you give more, not in money necessarily, but in kindness, recognition, and presence, you begin to receive more. That's the law of reciprocity in motion. It's not manipulation, it's alignment. People help those who help them feel seen. They go the extra mile for those who make them feel respected and valued. And this is not just philosophy, it's a strategy for living and leading in a more connected, abundant way. Now here's where it becomes especially relevant to you. Are there people in your life or business that you've taken for granted? Are there opportunities that might already be around you, waiting to be unlocked by a simple act of thanks? When you look around with a grateful heart, you start to notice how many people have supported your journey directly or indirectly. Gratitude turns your attention away from what you're still chasing and helps you honor what you've already been given. And in doing so, it creates space for more to flow in. As the saying goes, gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. So if you're looking to grow your wealth not just financially, but in terms of connections, fulfillment, and long-term success, start by growing your gratitude. Let people know they matter. Thank them genuinely and often. Give without keeping score. And trust that, over time, what you put out will come back to you in ways you never expected. Gratitude isn't just polite, it's powerful. It's the quiet force that builds trust, deepens bonds, and activates a network of goodwill that money alone can't buy. If this message resonated with you, leave a comment below and simply write, "Gratitude brings more good into my life." Let's spread this energy together. Number 4. Gratitude rewires the brain. Let's explore something that most people overlook when they think about wealth, not money, not strategy, but the mindset that shapes how we make decisions every single day. Neuroscience now backs up what ancient wisdom has taught for centuries. Practicing gratitude isn't just good manners, it actually changes the structure of your brain. Studies show that when you regularly take time to be thankful, you strengthen the neural pathways connected to positive emotions, focus, and even better decision-making. In other words, the simple act of appreciating what you already have, whether it's your health, your job, your relationships, or just the breath in your lungs, actually trains your brain to respond more calmly and wisely under pressure. And when it comes to building true wealth, the ability to make smart choices, take calculated risks, and think long-term is absolutely essential. A grateful brain doesn't react out of fear or desperation. It responds with clarity. And clarity, my friend, is one of the most powerful assets you can have. The Buddha once said, "What we think, we become. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world." That teaching reminds us that what we focus on shapes not just our emotions, but our entire reality, including our financial outcomes. Let's make it practical. Have you ever noticed how people who constantly feel like they're behind or lacking tend to make rushed or impulsive decisions with money? Whether it's overspending to keep up, jumping into high-risk ventures out of fear of missing out, or avoiding long-term planning because it feels too overwhelming, these habits don't come from logic. They come from a nervous system stuck in survival mode. But gratitude brings you back to center. When you take time every day, even just a few minutes, to reflect on what's going well, you quiet that inner noise and bring your brain into a more balanced state. That balance helps you think more clearly, plan more effectively, and trust the process rather than chase after quick wins. As author and thinker Melody Beattie wrote, "Gratitude makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow." This kind of clarity not only leads to better money choices, but also to greater self-control, emotional resilience, and confidence, all traits you'll find in people who build and sustain wealth over time. So the question for you is this: how often do you slow down and really notice what's good in your life right now? Are you taking the time to train your brain to focus on appreciation instead of anxiety? Because the truth is, the most powerful investments don't always start with dollars, they start with attention. When you place your attention on gratitude, you literally upgrade your mental software to handle life and money with more wisdom. You become the kind of person who can pause before reacting, who can spot a smart opportunity instead of a flashy distraction, who can plan patiently rather than panic under pressure. In today's fast-moving world, that ability is rare and incredibly valuable. So let this be your takeaway. Gratitude is not passive. It's an active mental practice that rewires your brain, elevates your thinking, and gives you the emotional clarity to create lasting abundance. Wealth doesn't just happen. It's built one wise decision at a time, and a grateful heart is what makes those decisions possible. Number 5. Wealth is a state of mind before it's a state of account. Let's talk about something that goes deeper than numbers in a bank account. The truth that real wealth begins in the mind, not in the wallet. You see, wealth isn't just about money, it's about how you feel about your life, your choices, and your place in the world. That's why gratitude is so powerful. When you practice gratitude, you shift your attention away from what's missing and start appreciating what you already have. And that shift isn't just about feeling better, it changes how you think, how you act, and how others respond to you. Gratitude helps you feel rich inside, even before your outer life reflects it. And the beauty is, when you carry that energy of inner abundance, you start making wiser decisions, building stronger relationships, and creating opportunities that eventually lead to outer success. As Buddhist wisdom reminds us, contentment is the greatest wealth. It's not about giving up ambition, it's about building from a solid foundation of peace, rather than chasing success from a place of emptiness. Let me tell you about a man named Carlos. He wasn't born into money, didn't go to fancy schools, and spent most of his 20s working 2 jobs. But every morning, he made time to write down 3 things he was grateful for, even if it was just the cup of coffee he could afford, or the smile from a stranger. Over time, that practice grounded him. He stopped comparing himself to others and began investing his time and energy wisely. He took small, smart financial steps, grew his skills, and people around him noticed his calm, steady presence. Years later, Carlos owns a thriving local business, not because he rushed or got lucky, but because he built his success from the inside out. Do you know someone like that? Someone who seems fulfilled, even if they don't have everything? What do you think sets them apart? That inner feeling of wealth makes the journey itself feel meaningful, instead of just a race to a finish line. People often chase money thinking it will finally make them feel whole, only to find that without gratitude, even a fortune feels empty. But when you already feel abundant in your heart, every step you take toward your goals is filled with joy, not desperation. You carry yourself differently. You speak with confidence instead of fear. You give without keeping score, and you receive without guilt. That's the kind of energy that attracts partnerships, referrals, and opportunities not out of luck, but because people gravitate toward those who live with genuine appreciation. As Tony Robbins said, success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure. So ask yourself honestly, are you building your life from a place of fullness or from a sense of lack? Because the truth is, gratitude doesn't just help you get rich, it helps you feel rich right now. And when you feel rich, you make decisions like someone who has enough. You act with calm, you think long-term, and you attract what aligns with your purpose. The lesson here is simple. Before you try to fill your account, fill your heart. Gratitude is the mindset that quietly shapes your future, not by magic, but by shaping your behavior, and in turn, your results. Thank you for spending this time with us on the journey of wisdom. As we've explored today, these 6 numbers aren't just about luck. They're reminders of presence, clarity, and the deep connection between your inner world and the abundance life has to offer. Whether it's number 3's joyful flow, 5's call to move forward, or 66's sacred harmony, holds a message for those ready to listen with both heart and mind. If today's insights resonated with you, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to the Journey of Wisdom for more teachings grounded in mindfulness, clarity, and modern-day meaning. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming episodes, especially the ones we have planned for July and beyond. Remember, true wealth begins with wisdom, and you are already on the path. Until next time, may you walk with peace, act with purpose, and live with gratitude.